Hi guys, it's Lisa. Today we're finishing another art journal page background. I'm hoping you're liking this series. We're just going to have one more after this one and then we're going to switch to something else. I wanted to show you these 28 cards I made with these Stamperia papers. Here are the scraps and above I'll link the card creation video for you. I wanted to show you this flower that I had in my garden, and it was blowing around, and I sprayed it with some oxide inks to make those great colors. And these are some of the scraps I had on my desk, and this is the art journal we're going to play in today. It's one that I had made with some jelly print papers, and these were made with leaves and then some leaves and some tea-dyed paper that I had put in it. I think we'll do some backgrounds together in here, and also I think I'll show you how to make this book because it was pretty fun to make. You can see I have a lot of pages to work on in here. So it'll be a fun one, and there's some beautiful backgrounds. This one is made with removing tape, and it looks wood grain. That was a real fun technique. This one would be great for a Halloween project. Again, that wood grain with tape. Some really great ones in here. So we'll be working on this together as we go forward. Look at those great leaves. I was trying to decide which page I should work on, and I was keeping in mind these scraps that I had over to the side, and I think that that's the one I went with. And I never even did use those scraps up to the right hand corner, but I'll show you what I did here. I'm going to kind of do a little placement, and I'm using those clips that I like. I think they're called bull clips, and I'll link them for you below. They're real nice to have when you're working on your art journal. So here's some of that Stamperia paper. I just cut circles out for all of those cards that I made, and I couldn't bear to throw away the scraps. So I'm gonna see what I come up with for a layout. I hope you're all making it through this crazy virus time. Right now it's the third week of March where I live in Wisconsin, and it's pouring rain out. It's 2:30 in the afternoon and just gloomy. I'm having a cup of tea and doing this voiceover, and all I want to do is take a nap, so I may do that. Alright, just kind of looking where I'm going to put these scrap papers. And nothing's set in stone, you just kind of look around, play with it, and then I was thinking, what am I going to use for a sentiment? So that always has to come into play also. The sentiment I came up with was something that I had printed on some tissue paper with my printer, and it said, "Friends are the family we find along the way." And I really think that that's quite appropriate for this time right now which we're in. You've got to stay connected with your friends as well as your family, and sometimes as you get older you have more friends than you do family. So that was kind of my inspiration for this piece, and of course all of those scraps that I had on my desk from making all 28 of those cards with the Stamperia paper pad. And I'll link that below. That video comes out in April, so you'll see that coming down the line here. So here's that sentiment. I'm just going to cut it out a little closer and see how I can make that for placement on my piece. I'll be putting the paper scraps down with my matte medium, actually my matte gel. And there, I got it all taken together. And I picked out those 3 colors that went with the background. There's a gold color, a summer porch, and this one is Pescado by Allegro Paints. And I wanted to use my Deco Arts Crackle glaze and mix it with that paint to see if I could get that crackle technique that I had in my Stamperia workshop. I just cannot get that same crackle effect that I got, and so I actually did go and purchase some of Stamperia's crackle paste, but it's probably going to be a few weeks before I get it. So here I'm just using that gold paint and my finger and just adding it to the background. I liked how that gold was kind of peeking out, and I wanted to emphasize that. I really didn't know where I was going with this piece, so it is just playing at this point, and I really like to do that because it shouldn't have to be stressful, and at this time with all that's going on, we really don't want anything to be stressful. We've got enough to worry about. So I'm just using my plastic palette knife. I'm trying to get a thicker coat on there, and I'm wondering if that is why I'm not getting any crackles. It's because my coat of matte crackle glaze and paint is too thin. So I'm trying to go a bit thicker here and kind of pile it on. And I just am in love with this Pescado color by Allegro. And I purchased it when I was in the workshop with Valley Stamp and Scrap. It was a good color. I really liked it a lot. So here's how my background is looking, and I'm just trying to add that paint and crackle glaze to make the whole background kind of come together. And of course I'm going to have to set it aside and let it dry, and hopefully we'll get some crackles. It's all dry, and I do see a little bit of crackling, but nothing like the piece that I had made in the workshop with Stamperia. So I thought, well, maybe I'll add some of this yellowish white, it's called Summer Porch, over the top of the brown, and maybe that will emphasize the crackles. It does a little, but I had it a feeling that it was really dulling down my brown that I was really loving. So I'm just going with it. I'm just giving it a little swipe with my finger and that dry paint brush, adding that color to the background. And then I had an idea. I thought, okay, well, how about some of this vintage paste that I got when I was in this workshop with Stamperia, and let's try that. So that's what I tried next. It's an oil-based paint, and I'm going to put it on with a brush that I only use for that product, and we'll see how this works. Here it is. It's all wrapped up in this tin foil because they didn't have any for sale, but they gave me a little sample of it. So I'm going to try to work my brush. It was a little stiff there, and I'm just going to add it to the edges as I'm starting out because I was a little scared that I was going to wreck everything. And I'm protecting my page behind by using a book jacket from another book, and that seems to work out good. And I'm using a baby wipe and just wiping it back, and it's like, oh yeah, that really works. So I'm getting braver and I'm going over more and more of the background, adding that real dark, dark color. And I would say it's probably a burnt umber. And I'm wiping it off with my baby wipe. And you can see the crackles in the Moscato paint a lot better. I'm just drying it off a little bit, and now you can really see that I'm kind of getting a little bit daring here, and I'm going over almost the whole entire piece. I was trying to stay away from the sentiment because it was in tissue paper, and I did not want that to come up from the background. Really liking this product. I definitely will be getting some more of this. And like I said, it's an oil-based product by Stamperia, and it's called Vintage Paste. But I know it's really hard to get right now because everything is kind of held up in China while they're trying to sort out their pandemic right now. So like I said, we're going to do one more of these finishing backgrounds, and then we'll do something else for a little bit, and we'll get working on maybe just some full art journal pages. Who knows? Maybe we'll create one of those art journals that I made. That was really quite a fun project. Let me know what your thoughts are. Here I let the oil-based paint dry in the background, and I'm using my black Stabilo pencil, and I'm going in those circle images, and I wanted these circles kind of to look like bubbles because after I started looking at the piece, it kind of looked like a blue sky with some brown over the top, and just kind of how I was maybe feeling a little gloomy, and I wanted them to look like bubbles, maybe lighten up the piece a little bit. And then I got out my silver PanPastel, and I added that to the upper right hand corner of those circles to add that white highlight, and it really turned out neat, I think. I'm just using some water to blend that Stabilo pencil, and I'm using a black there, black Stabilo pencil. I'll link it below for you. So I'm liking how the background turns out. There's that PanPastel in silver, and just turning the applicator tip around so I could use the other side. And I'm just going around that top right edge to make it look like that white accent of the bubble. Turned out cool. I will have a link for you at the end with some more of the art journal finishing series, and we will do one more next week like I said, and we will try something else on Saturdays. Unless you totally think we should just keep going, that's fine with me. But I have a few videos that I would like to share with you, and they're not completing the backgrounds. So you have a great week. Stay close to your friends and family. I'm hoping that we will get through this crisis soon. Keep creating, keep calm, and as much as they say to stay away from each other, you have to keep in touch, text, email, talk on the phone, send some great cards. Just let them know that they're loved and the love will come back to you. We'll get through this. Take care and have a good week. See you on Tuesday for a mixed media piece. And then Saturday again, we'll work on another background for the art journals. Thanks so much.